What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we are back again for another round of AOR Oceania F1. As you can see from the picture on your screen right now, we're here for round number 15 here at the Singapore Grand Prix. As we have a look at a quick update on the championship standings, it's a 4-point lead between Greek Master and New Zealand Ryan. We're down in P12. Williams have got a 58-point margin. I think Ferrari and Haas are down in P8, just past ahead of Sauber. As you can see here in qualifying start here around Singapore, it is a little bit wet, to say the least. And yeah, first, it's easy to say now that I'm not brilliant with the wet, and I wasn't really expecting this weather, to be honest, at all, because yeah, I mean, it probably will screw up a little bit qualifying wise, but the race wise I think it's going to be fine anyway. So yeah, pretty much just going to see whether we can survive in this wet weather around the streets of Singapore. But first things first, I should actually point out, you're probably wondering, round 15 here at Singapore, obviously there's obviously been a bit of a big gap between, well, you could say, you're thinking where, let me put it simply, where on earth is round 14 at Italy? Well, unfortunately I made a big blunder, and it was a big blunder quite literally. So I did initially originally record the footage, as I always do pretty much every single week, of AOR Oceania. So but what I, in all my haste, do, well, it was obviously the video was sort of exporting out of the Elgato Game Capture. I accidentally closed the Elgato Game Capture program that always does the recordings, and but what I did, of course, I didn't realise it was still exporting, so of course I said quit, didn't I? So yeah, I mean, I tried in vain. I tried getting a bit of the recording from the Elgato Game Capture library files in the game, but it was all in vain really, because when I tried to put it into my the Sony Vegas program that I use to edit all my videos, it just crashed Sony Vegas. So yeah, basically I tried my absolute best to try and get the footage out to everybody, you guys and girls, because I know you would have wanted to see that footage, because it was a great result, don't get me wrong, around Italy, but yeah, unfortunately that's just the way it was. But we did actually get our best ever result of P6 in AOR since I made the jump up into the F1 tier, obviously. So and obviously it was a pretty great weekend all around. Obviously my teammate got into the points as well, probably maybe could have finished up a little bit higher, but yeah, I was pretty pleased to actually finish in a pretty decent position, probably the best of it.
You've just put in the fastest lap. Good job.
The best of the season so far. But as you see now, we've already set our first quality run. Not the best lap time, not going to lie. But of course it is early days here, as we didn't have too many runners in this for this round at Singapore, and I'll probably explain why a little bit later on. But this is actually going to stick on board here with the remainder of this flying lap here.
About 15 minutes of this heavy rain left, after which we should see light rain conditions. It does seem like the fastest tyre for now.
Just getting a bit of a weather update there from Jeff. He did say it was going to dry up, but I think it's probably going to be all in vain really. As there's DRC Jarrett, I think 5 seconds quicker than my fastest lap time, so I'm going to pretty much drop down the leaderboard here pretty soon. But sector 1 time you saw there, not brilliant obviously, but I knew I'd probably make up a lot more time probably through sector 2 and 3, because I did make a lot of mistakes. You probably saw in the previous lap at turn 11 I nearly ran into the wall there, coming out of turn 11, the exit curve. Probably just ran it a little bit too wide, but now we are starting to go green on the delta time here, as you can see. But it was just a struggle to get on the power, because it just felt like the back end would just, you lose the back end coming. You can see with the acceleration here around Singapore, it is quite difficult. And second sector time we improved by about 0.4 of a second here. So
this heavy rain will last around 15 minutes, after which we should see a transition to light rain.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I probably did already ask that question, but anyway, it is what it is. But we're just coming around the final couple of corners now, turns 20 and 21. Going straight up into 4th gear, losing the back end a little bit there, which probably affected delta time a little bit here, but just trying to get on the power, come across the line, We do improve a little bit by about, 7/10 of a second, or not quite 7.5 tenths. The 56.116, which actually still puts me in P6 for the time being. But yeah, I mean,
Someone's posted a faster time. You've been dropped to the 4th row, P7.
now it's obviously dropped down to P7. Thank you, Jeff. But pretty much it's just basically in this wet weather you can pretty much do quite a few laps around, well, especially in the wet around here anyway. So I was basically just going to put in a lot of laps here and just see whether. Probably put on another set of inches maybe a bit later on and see if we can blast and get a bit higher up the grid. But coming through for the third run through 14, I just missed my braking marker a little bit.
Bad. Are you all right? Let me know you're all right.
And obviously that was the end result there. I thought I actually did put enough brake pressure, but I obviously didn't. I must have taken my foot off the pedal just a little bit too much there. So and obviously I didn't think it'd end up that bad, but it obviously did in the end. So that was me out of qualifying. So pretty much not a lot happened during the rest of qualifying. It was pretty much near the end. As fans, you can see there, crashing just coming up before turn 13 there. I think pretty much near what I think was Charles Leclerc did in the real life Grand Prix in qualifying in 2018, or not qualifying, but one of the practice sessions, I believe. But that was DLG Gamble having a little bit of a slight moment there. But this is fans earlier. That was actually him invalidating one of his lap times there. So here is the replay. Ball with Gamble is trying his absolute best, and he actually slams into the crash car of Masterbezerk there. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to shut up here and let you go for a hot lap here around the Marina Bay Street Circuit with DRC Jarrett. Enjoy. And that actually turned out to be the pole position lap, actually, for DRC Jarrett, who was pretty much absolute gun around this joint, and he was in SRL on the Friday. So he got pole position over Greek Master in second position, and New Zealand Ryan and Ben obviously in third and fourth, pretty much a second row Ferrari lockout, and got Fans in fifth, Masterbezerk, DLG Gamble and myself in P8. So not the greatest of qualifyings, but we'll just not muck around. Let's get straight into the Singapore Grand Prix.
For you, show them what you can do.
Try my absolute best. Welcome to the grid for the Singapore Grand Prix. Race strategy wise, was a little bit of a weird one, to say the least, because the original strategy did tell me to go to, I think, start on Ultras, go on another set of Ultras and Hypersofts, which was pretty much the plan all along. But did watch a little bit of the live stream, actually, from, I remember it was Jess and I think AOR Charlie, I think were commentating on this. And I think it was Jess that was sort of had the suggestion of going on to the soft tyres.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I think it was Jess that actually suggested that maybe a few guys should go onto the harder compound, the soft tyres, which is basically what I decided to do in the end. And I think I'm not the only one, because I think Masterbezerk and I think Ben, I think, is the other one that's on the soft tyres. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm probably mentioning a lot throughout the race. We were missing a few guys. Obviously, my teammates not here. Both the Red Bull boys are not here. I think Prez is not here and Drop Bear are not here. But here we go. We're all set for round number 15 around Singapore 5. Red lights. Let's do it around Marina Bay, and it's a pretty decent start here. Masterbezerk didn't get away to a good start there. Neither did Ben, actually. We could tell, really, the difference in the tyre compounds. I think the majority of the guys gone for the ultra soft tyres. I'd be really surprised if anybody's gone for the aggressive strategy, which is going straight onto the hyper soft tyres. But you know, I wasn't really going to push on a lot throughout this whole race. I mean, pretty much just a battle to survive. I was just happy to just try and get some points if I can throughout this whole race. So yeah, just sitting in behind really the other two guys that are on the soft tyres, and obviously Ben and Masterbezerk. So yeah, just sort of playing it patiently through the first couple of corners here, so not doing anything silly at the current moment, but straight on to lap 2 we go.
Plenty of energy, switch to overtake and have a go.
So everybody just starts to fan out a little bit here as we just ran a little bit wide there. It may have been because of the Masterbezerk. I think he may have glanced the wall as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. It looked like he did on my screen, but yeah, no, I definitely clouded the wall there, but thankful to get away with damage. But we'll have a look on board with the front two as of the start. The replays, DRC Jarrett on the right and Greg on the left. Jarrett got the good start off the line. Greg didn't quite have to jump on him there, so Jarrett leads quite comfortably out of the first couple of corners there. Of course, Greg's got to put up with New Zealand Ryan, his championship rival. Pretty much nothing between those guys, and it was the replay on board with DLG Gamble, and actually Fence is actually on the soft tyres as well, so there's quite a difference in tyre strategy here. So obviously Gamble going right around the outside of Ben, and he manages to get the job done here, but see whether he can actually get a good run here coming out of turn 5 onto the back onto Raffles Boulevard. He's got obviously V-Fans up the road there, so we can get a good run here. I'll have a look here into turn 7, thinks about it, but no, settles back into it for the time being. But cut a bit further on a couple of laps later on to lap 4. Yeah, started to drop away from the guys in front there, but I make a big mistake going straight into the wall at turn 18, which was really, trust me, I hated turn 18 pretty much this whole weekend of the league racing that we had on for this whole weekend. I was just hating turn 18 compared to obviously the league I did race on Friday, as we pretty much do a Warden, I think pretty much what Warden did back in season 2, I believe, where he spun in coming into the pit lane. Thankfully got away with not retiring out of the race, but you can see there, that's the Force India crew there. Masterbezerk's actually come in, so they've seen a little bit of carbon fibre on the road there, just obviously to the left of me when we crashed. So he must have had a crash through turn 18 as well. But anyway, we're coming straight into the pit lane. So strategy of going from softs to ultras gone out the window now, and I actually had changed the front wing as I was sort of trialing a bit here with the setup here just to see what we could do. I went back to I think 6 on the front wing. I was running about 7-11 wings, I think, from memory. Maybe not ideal, but anyway, we're just going to really push on here, and this, well, I mean, it's probably going to be a long shot if we can actually gain some positions. When you see where we are compared to the lead group, we're pretty much coming onto the front straight now. So, yeah, well and truly, we are well behind the A game here with those guys up further up the road, but we are going purple through the first couple of sectors there, I believe. So there's Masterbezerk's now out of the Grand Prix, so that'll be sort of a free position here, but where's he done this? There's actually, he's crashed on the entry into turn 18. Wow, that's that's a little bit unusual there. Now, never have I seen anybody, I don't think I've
Track is clear.
probably never seen anybody crash into turn 18 there and entry into turn 18. But the virtual safety car actually gets deployed because I think it was actually for Masterbezerk. I don't think anybody else crashed, so sort of gave us a little bit of a cool down here, let the tyres cool out a little bit here, not pushing on them too hard here. So, yeah, the virtual safety car is now ended. Obviously, we nearly slammed into the wall coming out of turn 9 there, but thankful for that one. But let's jump aboard here with Masterbezerk here, see what actually happened here. So, obviously, coming into turn 18 here, it just turns it a little bit too early there.
Are you okay?
And the wall was just waiting for him, really, and the front left tyre's been ripped off big time there. But we'll jump ahead here because, there's probably not a lot going on my end. There's probably a bit more going on at the front end of the grid here anyway. But this is Gamble and Ben going side by side. Ben going right around the outside, actually gets the move done. So very nice move there from Ben up into P6 and Gamble back to P7. This was during the virtual safety car. You can see it was a relatively close gap between Jared and Greek, but Jared absolutely blitzed Greek on the safety car restart there, and Greek was just in no man's land pretty much there. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe it had something to do with the delta time that you saw there. That was my first penalty, 3-second time penalty, I should say. It's barely glancing the wall coming into turn 18. I mean, turn 18 was probably my worst nightmare this whole weekend with on Friday in SRL, and obviously this was on the Sunday in AOR. But is Greek actually going to come into the pit lane? Actually going to try maybe for a bit of an undercut here on DRC Jarrett. So this is early on the end of lap 9 here. So I assume he's going straight onto the soft tyres, which indeed he is. Nice stop from the Williams boys, and away he goes. And I think he should come out with some relatively fresh air, as DLG Gamble is another one that comes in early for a pit stop. So he'll go onto the softs, and away he goes. Nice stop from McLaren, so he'll have some fresh air as well. But that's probably the beauty with having a smaller grid, as we have a second time penalty on lap 11. And I thought for a moment there I was going to have a moment there like I did in Friday in SRL, but thankfully managed to avoid the wall there. But onto lap 12, was just pretty much in no man's land. He glanced the wall again at turn 5. Probably thankful again I didn't actually get front wing damage there, but
only one stop to go, one stop left in this strategy. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps.
Obviously getting an update on when the next pit window is. It's another 4 or 5 laps, so probably going to go on another set of ultra soft tyres. But
oh mate, you can do it. It's been a tough race, but I know you're capable of getting more out of that car today. Dig deep. Give us the best of your talent. Gap to car in front is 20.9 seconds.
Look, I mean, I love the encouragement from Jeff, but I mean, does he not realise where we are situated on the track? I'm probably not going to gain anything out of this whole race here. So there's the third time penalty on the race. So
the time penalty will go against our finishing
again
time
cutting that corner, but getting close to turn 18. But what I was going to say like earlier on, the beauty of having probably the lesser grid was both Greek and Gamble, or especially Greek, have got fresh air to play with here. So get our 4th time penalty of the race. So
expecting the tyre grip to start falling off noticeably around now, but this set should be okay for a while longer despite that.
See Jeff just giving me the warning of the tyre wear as here we go on lap 19. So Greek going to have a look here inside on DRC Jared's actually set a purple second time there. So
is 25.
it's obviously carrying a bit more further on onto lap 9, a bit later on lap 19 for me. There's yellow flags actually at turn 7, I think this is, and I think you'll find it's actually to do with the lead group. So we're going to have a look here with both these guys, DRC Jared on the right, Greek Master on the left. So obviously Greek's pretty much the chaser here, trying to close in on DRC Jared here to get the pretty much the effective race lead here, pretty much, because I think these two have got a bit of a gap over New Zealand. Ryan in third. I think it's Ryan in third. I could be wrong, but here you go. Greg up the inside here at a turn 7. There's contact, and it's actually, well, probably thankful Greg actually didn't fully spin the car there, because that could have ended badly, big time there. So probably glad Greg is. I would suggest Greg is probably glad that he didn't actually get. 1, he didn't get fully spun round, and 2, he probably didn't get any front wing damage. So that's probably an added bonus there. But anyway, we've come into the lane now for our second and probably maybe our final pit stop here. We'll wait and see. But going to go. It's another set of ultra soft tyres. Nice job as always from the Haas boys. And obviously we'll still come out in P7. I think we'll still remain on the lead lap here. So obviously just got a bit of a gap to I think who's that coming into the pit lane? I think that's actually Team Atlantic. I think Ben's coming into the pit lane because he went very long. Obviously he started on the soft tyres, so he was going very long in this race. But yeah, pretty much the next couple of laps you'll see here is probably setting a few consistent lap times there with a 38.39 on the lap, at the end of lap 21, end of lap 22 to the 38.066. I was probably burning up the fuel here and using a lot of ERS to get those quicker lap times, especially. But there's a replay jump here. Oh, DLG Gamble. Well, that's an unusual place to spin. Might have got put off there because it is so dark coming into that, what was it, turn 14 there. So he must have got put off there by the darkness there. But anyway, back we go on board with V. Fence is battling away here with Ben for position 4, and he goes around the outside. Lovely move there. Fence trying everything he can to get back on the inside, but I think it's to no avail really. But yeah, I think that was probably what you just heard then and see. Just glanced the wall there. It was probably a little bit of a lost concentration there, but I was sort of puzzled a little bit as to. I was actually querying whether Ben had actually come into the pit lane and what tyres he'd actually come on, because I was sort of assuming possibly he might have gone to like maybe a set of Hypersoft tyres later on, but of course Hypersofts around here don't really last long, and if you saw the league race on Friday, you would have known I was trying my absolute best to get them as long as I could, but in the end I sort of thought, yeah, not really going to gain a lot out of this race. You can see where DLG Gamble is compared to me, so it's probably not worth it here. So I'm just going to bail out of it here and just go for the fastest lap and actually nail it coming into the pit lane, which is a first for me, I think. Other times I probably would have got pinged, but anyway, now we've obviously gone a lap down because DRC Jarrett's just gone past. But we're going to obviously jump onto the set of Hypersoft tyres, and away we go. Nice stop again from the Haas boys. So pretty much got, what was it, three, four laps to have a little bit of fun here. Let's see whether we can actually get the fastest lap of the race and actually come out with a bit of fresh air here. So that's an added bonus there. You can see the guys ahead. I think that's both, who's that, Fens and...
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's Fens and Ryan up in front there. So Ben obviously just set the fastest lap of the race, which was... I thought it was going to be pretty easy to beat that fastest lap, but you'll see why in a second. That was a 1:36.265 from Benjamin. But anyway, I'm going to stick on board here for this is likely going to be my fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 28. So through 1, 2, and 3, trying to avoid getting out as wide as we dare, coming out of there out of turn 4, now through turn 5, using every single bit of road there. Not glancing the wall this time compared to the previous couple of times, but now through Raffles Boulevard, through turn 6 we go. Now sizing up into turn 7 here. We do go green through sector 1 there, so we are going to improve on our lap times here. It's sort of the tricky section around here as we come through turn 9. And you see a couple of times I actually got close to that wall there you saw, but now coming into turns 10, which was originally the Singapore Sling, and now obviously it's different now to what it's first started out in turn 11, 12. Now it's Rossi Anderson Bridge coming into the hairpin at turn 13. It's a fairly nice run through there actually, and I also should point out I put the wing back up, the front wing back up to 7, I think. But now we're actually going purple through Sector 2 here, and probably mucked up the braking through turn 14 a little bit there, which didn't really help my cause, but now 15. I'm trying to avoid the curb through 16 because obviously I caught to cut that corner quite a lot, but now through turn 18, gliding the car literally through this course, having a little bit of a slide there. That was all on purpose, by the way. I'm literally just pushing on to see whether I can actually get the fastest lap of the race. That's as we come now through the final couple of corners here onto the front straight. You'll see whether that puts us at not the fastest lap, but we do set a 37 flats, which is my personal best for the race, and actually get another time penalty for my troubles. So that's penalty number 4, I think you'll find, is actually is yellow flags. I think DLG Gambles had another off down at turn 14. Don't think he had footage for that one, so I can't say whether that was the exact same what had happened early in the race, or whether that was something completely different. But pretty much we're on our final lap now of the race, obviously being a lap down, lap 30, so just pretty much just going for glory here, I think, for the fastest lap of the race. But yeah, I mean, DRC Jared had a little bit of a fight earlier on with Greek, but he's held him off here, and he's going to win the Singapore Grand Prix. So pretty dominant weekend for him all round. Got the pole, got the win. Probably not quite the fastest lap, but literally just drifting through the final couple of corners. Here's the fireworks go off in the background there in the Singapore skyline, but just sliding it out there, and it is going to be going to finish the Singapore Grand Prix. It's going to be P7 across the line. Lovely way to finish this race. So yeah, I mean, I was just glad really that I actually finished this race, because I wasn't so sure that I would actually finish this race, obviously with obviously this track being known as well, a lot of things can happen, and especially you can easily crash your car and obviously put yourself out of the race. But thankfully we survived all of that, and we get another decent result. So obviously P6 the last time out in Italy, now P7 here at Singapore, and as you can see, there's the podium. So Jared, Greek, and Ryan were the only other guys that didn't have a single penalty, which I find very I find very weird, I should say, because you do corner car quite a lot around this circuit. Well, I did anyway, as you can see all my timing screens there, and on the incidents there. But yeah, that was pretty much the full race results there. Ben in 5th, Gamble 6th. Obviously, Masterbezerk the only DNF. So gap now opens up back to a 10-point lead between Greek and New Zealand Ryan. Jared is only 43 points, I think, behind the guys in front there. Obviously, who else we got there? We're still around P12. We are starting to close in a little bit on Prez BC, so hopefully we can maybe gather him in and try and gain some more points. So there's the constructors. 70-point advantage between Williams and Ferrari. Mercedes still in 3rd. Obviously, Red Bull don't move because they weren't here. Force India don't move, obviously, because Masterbezerk DNF. McLaren, obviously, still in 6th. We're starting to pull away now from Sauber. Still got a 7-point lead over them. And obviously, the two bottom teams, Toro Rosso and Renault, haven't scored points for quite a while. But yeah, hopefully you weren't too bored with this race, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania action here on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description, plus the links will be down there for the AOR website and the AOR YouTube channel, which of course the live streams will happen every Sunday nights at 8 p.m. It may differ around for all the different regions and whatnot, but yeah, be sure to go check that one out as always, and always go check out the other guys' footage that have been featured in this video, because without them I probably wouldn't have much of a video, to say the least. But anyway, until the next one, which will be the Russian Grand Prix, which will certainly be interesting with that pit lane glitch anyway. But until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.